I'm telling them that I can't breathe. Clearly he don't give a damn about my plea. His ancestors used to hang us on trees. Today they identify as road police. You see I'm black, for that I'm a threat to America. My rise is their fall and their fall is evident. Blood on your hands is heavier than an elephant. Open up a closet and see skeletons. They killing us for walking.
And this is Reignite Sandy Speaks. And this is your first time here. Reignite Sandy Speaks is picking up where the late, great Sandra Bland left off, who had a social justice video series called Sandy Speaks. So this is Reignite Sandy Speaks. And again, a reminder, our goal and objective is to document the marginalization, discrimination, maligning, unequal treatment of Black people in this country. If you've been here before, you know that I believe America has broken its promise to Black people under the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment Equal Rights Clause was written after slavery ended, and the goal was to ensure the protection of Black people. And as we know, I don't even know how to say it, because Black people continue to be marginalized in this country. And I believe there is a white supremacist collective conscience that believes that Black people are secondary and that white people are superior. When I say white supremacist collective conscience, it means, what I'm saying is there is a prevailing thought idea that Black people are secondary. And again, the 14th Amendment is supposed to protect us. And as you know, we're not getting the proper protection. We're not equal in this country. And that's why I'm doing this video series. And so today, I want to talk about Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is the newest addition to the Supreme Court. And she spoke in a case about voters' rights recently. And something she said relates to this channel and supports my belief that Black people need protection in this country. Okay, you guys, I want to talk really briefly about the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment was adopted, I believe, July 9th, 1868, and it was adopted after the abolishment of slavery. So the purpose of the 14th Amendment was to provide legal protection to formerly enslaved persons in 1868. As we know, Black people are still not treated equally in this country. And so my goal and my objective is to get an update to the Constitution, that I believe there is an ongoing genocide being committed against Black people in this country. In the state of California, Governor Newsom has appointed a committee to do research on the effects of slavery to Black people in this country. I am a bit cynical about Governor Newsom's real purpose or intentions. I think Governor Newsom will be trying to run for presidency against Joe Biden. And to the Black people who are watching, if you guys don't recognize, one of the problems in this country as Black people is that we are not aware of our power in this country. Black people are the deciding vote. We have a lot of power, but we don't, in my opinion, harness or leverage the power when, as much as we should, in a way to really to get the type of protection or equal treatment as we should. So back to Governor Newsom. So again, I'm trying to come up with ideas of ways to get protection for Black people. I think that there is always going to be this force this entity, this energy that, or this racial or racist attitudes towards Black people. So, like, it's not against the law to not like me because I'm Black. If you don't like Black people, that's not a violation of our Constitution, no rights. You don't have to like me. It's your right as an American person to like or dislike whoever you want to, but you cannot discriminate against me because I'm Black. You can't cause me harm because I'm Black. And as we know, I mean, I struggle with talking about this because we see what happens to Black people. We have been harmed since they brought us here. And as a Black person, to many of us, we may not say it out loud or we don't communicate it, but it's hurtful. It's like, we didn't do anything to you. Why? We were born this way. Why in this country, the greatest country in the universe, in this world, is still bringing harm to Black people? So what can we do to be treated equally and to finally have liberation? We need legislation. We need legal protection. In the case of reparations, again, I don't believe that Governor Newsom really has sincere intentions on providing reparations to Black people. Does there need to be a study? I mean, we know, historically we know, right? If he really wanted to provide repair to Black people, he has the power. If you Google Gavin Newsom over the past year, he's done he's done all types of things for the gun laws, for Roe versus Wade, gas prices. He does things for every single issue except the repair of Black people. And Black people built this country. And we deserve reparations. A lot of people focus on the restitution. I think that is important, but I think equally important is repair. And I think that we are going to have to sue the federal government to get the equal protection that we deserve. But one of the things that's is an obstacle is that, and I'm not saying this properly because I'm not an attorney yet, but I will be eventually, is that, like, according to the Constitution, like, you can't do specific things, or there's laws hindering, like, if you do something for one group, that's considered discrimination, right? And I think there has been attempts to get reparations by addressing the federal government. And I think I might not be, this is my understanding, is that when it was attempted, it was very hard to do so, to provide things specifically to Black people, because it would be considered discrimination or doing something for one group and not doing something for another. So Ketanji Brown Jackson spoke at regarding a voters' rights issue in Alabama, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and edit it into this video so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
I understood that we looked at the history and traditions of the Constitution, at what the framers and the founders thought about. And when I drilled down to that level of analysis, it became clear to me that the framers themselves adopted the Equal Protection Clause, the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment in a race-conscious way. So I looked at the report that was submitted by the Joint Committee on Reconstruction, which drafted the 14th Amendment, and that report says that the entire point of the amendment was to secure rights of the freed former slaves. The legislator who introduced that amendment said that, quote, unless the Constitution should restrain them, those states will all, I fear, keep up this discrimination. That's not a race-neutral or race-blind idea in terms of the remedy. And even more than that, I don't think that the historical record establishes that the founders believed that race neutrality or race blindness was required, right? They drafted the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which specifically stated that citizens would have the same civil rights as enjoyed by white citizens. That's the point of that act, to make sure that the other citizens, the black citizens, would have the same as the white
back
citizens.
to Ketanji Brown Jackson, what I want to press upon those who are watching my video, who frequent my channel, I'm going to ask you to try to be open-minded, to try to believe that this black woman is going to ultimately work in our favor. You guys, it's been over 400 years. And we have been marginalized since we've been here. We need legal protection. I believe that we're headed in that direction, that finally that we are going to get the protection that we need. And I think Ketanji Brown Jackson is going to be part of that repair or repair. And so some of y'all gonna be mad and angry. Some of y'all gonna want to fight me, call me cool, anti-black. And if you do, it's okay. I still want you to subscribe to this channel. I still want you to watch my videos, because we have a long journey. And if you stay here with me and you watch my videos, you're going to see I love black people. I love black people like I love air. I'm heartbroken that we are still being harmed. And I got to be really honest with you. Can I I laugh because I frequent a lot of different spaces, and for the past 20-something years, I didn't live in a black area. So, of course, I have black friends. I have black family members. I engage with black people at work, or it's a few black people in my neighborhood. So, of course, I engage with black people. But because of my past experience and my goals and objectives to get legislation for additional protection for black people, I frequent different spaces. And one particular guy that I talked to is my friend. He's a big social justice activist, actually a reparationist. He was actually the person that told me about reparations. I didn't even know much about it. And one thing he said to me, he was like, oh, when those judges did that to you, you recognized you were black. That's when you realized you was black. And at first, when he first said that, I was like, what you talking about? I was like, I always knew I was black. And to those who look at maybe educated or well-to-do or black people who live in suburbia or adjacent to white people, they never let us forget who we are. Okay? Like I just explained to you, I don't take it personal. And some of you might think that it's a selling out. No, that's keeping my peace. That's me recognizing that I can't change that person. And because he has an issue with black people, I'm not going to create discomfort in myself. Okay, so I just shared that clip. And to me, that's given some insight to how she thinks and what she feels. She is a Supreme Court justice. I'm asking you black people to be forward thinking. Please subscribe to this channel. Please look for Reignite Sandy Speaks. I'm documenting everything. I have a plan and objective, but what I know is I can't do it by myself. And I do understand why you have apprehension or you're cynical about her. One, she is married to a white man, And 2, she did rule against a class action suit. I'm just asking you, please be open-minded. I think that clip is giving you some insight in who she is. And I struggle with black people who are against black people, who look at black people crazy and wild. I don't understand that, because being black in this country is an experience. Regardless of how much money you have, regardless of where you live, we feel the discrimination, the inequalities in this country. Some of us navigate better than others. But again, there is a prevailing white supremacist collective conscience in this country that believe black people are secondary and the white people are superior. And it is time that we finally get liberation, that there is proper legal protection, that if a person violates our protection, that they are sanctioned, they pay the price. That we need protection, black people. And in order to get protection, we have to try to be optimistic and positive about those who are in power. That those who look like us are not against us. And yes, I know that there's Judas. I know they're anti-black people. I know they're coons. I know that. But because we've been in this country our entire lives, we've been marginalized. The mind and the brain automatically fears what can happen. And you have to be conscious and aware. You have to be aware that your knee-jerk response might be flawed, because we have been living in oppressed conditions our entire lives. So listen, I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. I just did this video because I was really excited about Ketanji Brown Jackson and what she said, because that's dropping a hint about who she is. And because she is in the highest court of the land, there's no fear. Now she can really be transparent about who she is. And I believe she's going to be part of the change in this country for black people. Listen, y'all, I'm a 20th. This is Reunite. Sandy Speaks. Y'all come fuck with me.
Skeletons, they killing us for walking, killing us for jogging, kill us in our homes and fabricate it and hide it. Where we had Sandra Bland's and Trayvon Martin's. If when you kill us, your family was a target. If your children was orphans, will you have compassion the next time you approach us? Yeah, we fed up, this is built up. Your city up in smoke, homeboy, we had enough. And I ain't enticing riots of violence, heighten the climate. I'm saying you smack me, I'm punching you in your iris. Retaliation is prescribed in both Bible and Quran. In the matters of the slang, see an eye for an eye. Especially if the Justice Department do